Alrighty, welcome back to the Astral Urmah channel. Today I'm going to talk about crop circles. From the outside, people look at crop circles and they just think there's some sort of a pattern in a field. They look like geometry pressed into wheat. That's what the surface shows. But if you look deeper with the eyes of your consciousness and with the same perception that sees meaning behind symbols, you start to notice that the crop circles behave more like messages that arrive from higher awareness, not from people walking around with boards and ropes. First thing to understand is that most crop circles are not made by humans. Yeah, some are fake, because people can copy anything. But the authentic ones, the ones that show mathematical precision and fractal intelligence, those come from non-humans. They're not random. They're a form of communication. Now, there's many reasons why they appear in fields. First of all, wheat functions like a receptive medium. You could think of it as nature's canvas. The stems have moisture, elasticity, and they respond to directed energy. This is why the authentic circles show bent stems and not broken ones. The imprint is clean, as if something gently pressed reality into a new form. Swaru explained that the real circles are made with directed energy from above, usually by ships that calibrate the frequency of the ground and the plants. The ship doesn't land, there's no physical stomping. It's more like a resonance imprint. The field is held in a local frequency where matter becomes easier to shape. Then the design is placed. This is why the edges are so sharp, and the design can be formed in seconds. The next point is that crop circles carry a mathematical meaning. Many of them are representations of universal principles. They encode relationships between consciousness, geometry, and the organization of the universe. For example, spirals, golden ratio proportions, and time-related geometry frequently appear. This is because higher density civilizations sometimes communicate through mathematics. Through them, math is not a cold science. It's a language of consciousness. It shows how perception organizes reality. A circle is never just a circle. It's a concept. It's an idea. It's unity, focus, and potential, all in one. People often ask why these beings don't speak in English or Spanish or something people can easily relate to. Okay? The answer is that spoken language is slow and limited. And even though they do speak in those other languages, the crop circles are different. A crop circle can transmit a large amount of data in one image. It's that old saying that a picture equals 1,000 words. Even if people don't consciously decode the mathematics, their subconscious picks up the pattern. The mind feels the geometry. It resonates. It opens up something inside, even if they don't know what that something is. A lot of authentic circles are made by positive races like the Taigans. They've admitted to doing some of them. But they also say that many circles come from other groups who want to awaken awareness or remind humanity that reality is not limited to what governments say it is. Some circles come from higher density consciousness that don't even use ships. They simply imprint the message directly from mind to matter, treating the field like a responsive organism. There's something else, and this is one of those things that people never consider because it sounds too strange until you understand how starships move through time. When a ship travels through frequencies, it doesn't move in a straight line. It moves through the ether and by frequency maps. And that means it risks arriving at a point in time that looks the same but is not the same. See, timelines are very similar. Okay, many are nearly identical. So ships need reference points. They use markers that act like cosmic fingerprints. Crop circles can function as those markers. Some formations are placed on purpose by star races so they can know precisely which version of Earth they have returned to after a time-related jump. If the circle is present, unchanged, then the ship knows it's back on the correct track, on the correct timeline. If the circle is missing or distorted or replaced with a different formation, then the crew knows they've arrived in a variant that's not the intended one. This is why some circles repeat in cycles. It's a map. It's like a lighthouse for starships that move through time. It's a way to track movement across very similar Earth experiences without losing orientation. From the outside, people only see wheat that's been pressed into shapes. But for those who navigate by frequencies, each circle is a temporal anchor. It carries a signature that is recognizable across multiple versions of reality. It's like leaving a note for yourself in another lifetime so you can confirm you arrived where you're supposed to arrive. And the reason they place these markers in fields is the same as before. The ground is receptive. The medium records the imprint clearly. The signature stays stable enough so that ships can scan it later from high altitude, even years after it appears. The entire thing acts as a reference point in the temporal map of Earth. So when people ask why extraterrestrials would bother drawing symbols in wheat instead of just sending a message, the answer is that some of these symbols are not for humans at all. They're for themselves. They're for other crews, for navigation, and for temporal coordination. It's a way to keep precision when the universe is moving like an ocean of probability. There are also warning circles, although people often miss them because they look like neutral symbols. Some contain information about solar cycles, energetic waves, or collective consciousness thresholds. When you see those massive formations that involve complex mathematics about time or space, those usually involve something that is coming or something that is already happening on an energetic level. Now, there's something that people misunderstand. They think crop circles are just messages for humanity. In a way, yeah, but in reality, most crop circles are communication between star races using the Earth as the medium. The meaning is available to humans, but the original target is often other ships and other groups observing Earth. It's like leaving a visual data packet on the surface for anyone tuned in. Humans just happen to walk by and see it. And this is another thing. Crop circles are also emotional signatures. This is hard to grasp at first, but the geometry conveys feeling. The intelligence behind the symbol expresses intention, and that intention is felt through the pattern. You can meditate with a crop circle the same way you meditate with sacred geometry. It changes your frequency. It brings you into resonance with the consciousness that created it. People wonder why circles appear mostly in England. The answer is that the fields there sit on very old Earth energy lines. These are places where the planet's consciousness is already active. When the ground is sensitive, the imprint becomes easier and more stable. Ships simply use what's available. England's not special in any sort of respect like that. It's just receptive. So when you look at the crop circles, you don't have to treat them as puzzles or attempts to reveal a secret. They're reminders that reality is fluid, conscious, and communicative. Okay? They are fingerprints of higher minds interacting with the physical world. They show that extraterrestrial presence has been here for a very long time, and that communication has been happening with or without public disclosure. If you want to understand a crop circle, don't only look with your mind. Feel it with your consciousness. Let the shape speak. You're not supposed to decode every detail. You're supposed to remember something from within. These symbols reach the parts of you that existed before you entered this incarnation. They speak in the language of memory, consciousness, and resonance. The real message is simple. You are not alone. You never were. And the universe is always speaking. The question is whether you can hear it. Thank you for watching this short video on crop circles. Stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.